Yo, what's up, man? Y'all see the title up there. MCs you don't know, you know what I'm saying? We're going into finding MCs you don't know about, so if you joining us, come in and learn about cats that you don't know about. You know what I mean? I'm supposed to have my man on here. We're gonna interview him. I'm trying to see if he's on here. I hope he's on here. Give me a second. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if he in here. Mera Sol. Where you at? Where you at? You know what I mean? Come up on here. I can't see him on this joint. He was on here. So where you at? But listen, whoever's out there, check in with me. You know what I'm saying? We're going to try to do this video, and we're going to bring in my man. I can't find him. I don't know where he at. But anyway, what's the word? I hope y'all out there. This right here, I think the title was up on there. You know what I'm saying? This is called Mera Sol, my man. What's up, bro? Muhammad in full effect. This is a little hip-hop live that I'm doing. Is about MCs you don't know. And I'm trying to bring my man Mera Sol on here. So Mera Sol is an MC originally from Philly, but he moved out to New York. And he got busy. And the reason why he's important to this joint, you know what I mean, is because he sold more CDs than a dude that was probably signed in the streets of New York than I ever seen anybody do. And his technique was very unique. And he got busy, and he had more like a soulful hip-hop style. You know what I mean? His joints were, you know what I mean? But he a Philly dude, but he moved out to New York, and he got busy. So I want to bring him on here so he could tell y'all his story. And I'm going to ask him some ill questions about, you know what I mean? Because I'm going to ask him some ill questions about his journey and how did he get, because he made some things happen. He made quite a few things happen. And Mera Sol is a deep MC from Philly. And he sold the CDs in the streets of New York to the point where it actually got him some good situations. It got him a good situation. It's still a grind out here being an MC, and just loving hip hop, but I thought I'd dedicate this to MCs you don't know. So this is joint about MCs you don't know. Let me see if I can give Mera a call and see if I can get him on Facebook. So if y'all can hang, we're gonna call him up. I'm gonna call my man and see if he can get on Facebook so we can actually interview him, because I think y'all need to hear his story. So let me see if I can get him on the horn. I want him to be on here face to face with me. What's up, brother?
I'm John working. Give me like 10 minutes.
All right. So we already on right now. We can interview you right from the phone if you want. But I tell you what, you go and try to see.
Look. What you want to do?
I got him on the phone, y'all. I got two people watching. That's what it say up in the thing. So we got Mera Sol. His name is Mera Sol, and he's an MC from Philly originally. But he left Philly and he went to New York and got busy.
But Mera is like it's like two names though.
Oh, explain it.
It's more like I'm walking through Harlem. It's more like Mera was just, you know what I mean, that's just my name, period.
Right.
But when I added the soul on there, that was what, like, when I got that, all right, first of all, my email was MeraSol,
right.
so, at gmail.com.
Right.
So when I would do events, you know, MCing and all of that, they would be like, Mera Sol, you know, because these people would invite me,
Right.
and I would give them my email or whatever, and they would just be like, Mera Sol.
Right.
So I was like, Mera Sol?
Right.
That sound dope. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna keep the Mera Sol, but I'm gonna put it in an aspect as of like, you know, basically, Mera is like the you know, the artist,
Right.
you know, that kick the rhymes and all of that.
Right.
But then when I put the Mera Sol, that's when it comes to like the music, when it comes to like producing, when it comes to like DJing, when it comes to like, you know, stuff like that. But when it came to like doing the plays and all of that, they always called me Mera.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's, you know, the soul part that came in, and I kept that and added that on.
Right.
When I started, you know, really, you know, promoting my DJing and started, you know, doing my production again and all of that. So,
right.
You know, that's where that came from. But Mera is like, that's my MC name.
Okay. You know what I mean? Word. Okay. So y'all heard it, you know what I mean? We got Mera on the phone because you know, he can't really get on the Facebook right now. He's taking care of some major business. But this show is dedicated to MCs you don't know. And Mera was explaining his name. Now, Mera, the reason I wanted to bring you on and why I think your story is so interesting is because this brother sold more CDs than somebody that probably would have been signed to a record label. You know what I'm saying? And this brother did this in New York City, one of the hardest places they say. I think personally is Philly, but Philly, you know, they say you make it in New York, you make it anywhere. But his hustle and his CDs got him to get on Broadway. That's major. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Now let me repeat that. Mera Sol, I got him on the phone right here. This brother's an MC, right? That you don't know. But this brother got big because he sold his CDs so much he probably went platinum on the streets. I'm almost positive. Would that be correct to say that?
Yeah, you know, I would say that. I would say that.
Okay. So you know what that means. That means he probably sold damn near 1 million copies of his CD on the streets. It could be gold, it could be, but to me, the way I seen you do it, in the years that you put in, that requires somebody to know who you are. So Mera Sol, and then he also he ran the chillin' soulful circuit, is what I like to call it, in New York. What does that mean? That means he performed at what is it? The Eureka Cafe, am I correct?
Yeah.
You performed the SOBs, am I correct? You performed that at the APT, am I correct? By saying that?
DJ that APT.
DJ that APT. And you was able to utilize, you got into places in a unique way. So let's start with the CDs. What was your first CD and how did you come to create that CD that you sold on the streets? What was the name of the first CD?
It was Reincarnated Street Soul.
Right. And how'd you come up about that? What was the process of making that CD? Who did you contact? Who were the producers? Who were these people?
Well, y'all gotta excuse me for 1 second if y'all hear the noise in the background, because I'm actually, you know, walking around. But basically, Reincarnated Street Soul came about when I first came to New York.
Right.
When I first came to New York, Reincarnated Street Soul was born.
Right.
Out of me basically going to open mics downtown Brooklyn.
Right.
You know, I was living in the Fort Greene area.
Right.
And I would go to these open mics.
Right.
You know, and I would just do my thing at the open mics.
Right.
And I was like, damn. You know, when I get off stage, everybody's like, yo, we like what you're doing. We like what you're doing.
Word.
You know, I'm like, damn. Y'all like that? That's
right.
what's up. I'm just freestyling.
So you was hype. You like that? I ain't even known, but they liking it.
So coming from Philly to a big city like New York, was definitely an eye opener for me. It was something that put a battery in my back.
Right.
To keep on doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because, you know, I'm like, okay, well, if they liking that, why not get some rhymes written? Why not just be serious and put some shit, some tracks?
Right. So who'd you go to? How did you get the studio time?
Well, it was this guy named Paulie.
Right.
Paulie out in Staten Island. So Paulie in Staten Island had a studio out there. I actually looked up Paulie. It's crazy. I looked up Paulie in like a newspaper ad.
What? That's crazy. Right.
It was some type of newspaper ad.
Right.
Like producers.
Right.
And I just seen him in there, and I was like, "Yo, okay, reasonable price."
Right.
Let me go to this dude with my ideas, because I always had ideas. Because remember, in Philly, I was producing already.
Right.
Like, I was producing before I even left New York.
Right.
I mean, left Philly. But I got back into producing.
Right.
When I came to New York.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me cut you off real quick. What made you leave Philly to go to New York? What did you tired? What made you leave? Why'd you leave?
Well, I left because I wanted to do fashion. So crazy.
You wanted to do fashion?
Yeah, yo.
Word.
And I mean, I did it for a little bit, but that's the reason why I left New York. I left Philly to do fashion.
Right. All right. Let me cut you off right now, real quick. Let me cut you off. So I gotta keep explaining why this show that I got is deep, because this is MCs you do not know. You know what I'm saying? Every time somebody comes in the room, I gotta explain what's going on. Rappers you don't know. And I'm interviewing them because I thought their stories were interesting. Now, these could be my friends. These could be people I don't know. I don't really care about that. But this is an MC by the name of Mera Sol. And he's telling you about his journey and how he created a CD called Reincarnated Soul. Am I correct?
Reincarnated Street Soul.
Street Soul. Okay. And the reason I'm interviewing this guy is because he sold more CDs on the street than dudes with deals sold when they were with a major, if it was an underground corporation, it was still a corporation and they got signed to a label. And the reason I'm interviewing him, because I bought a CD off this brother, and normally when I buy CDs off people in the street, a lot of times it's not really, it's okay. It sounds okay. But this joint was so hot, I'm like, this dude sound like he need to be signed to a label. But he wasn't. It was just him. Now, he's left Philly and he went to New York. Now, you said you were going to New York for what reason?
To do fashion.
Right.
It had nothing to do with it.
Wow. It ain't had nothing to do with the hip hop.
Nothing at all. I got back into hip hop because, like I said, I was doing those open mics downtown Brooklyn.
Right.
And people was feeling the vibe.
Right. Now, what were some of the things you was rapping about on this particular CD? And what were some of the things you rapping? What was your style? Give the people your style. Because I'm going to play a tune. It's not probably from that album, but just to give people your understanding of how you get down. But what you explain to the people, what was your style like?
Well, my style was basically the struggle.
Right.
You know, the struggles of life, the natural struggles of life.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, just real, soulful, the struggles of life and just music. I mean, really good music. It was just a vibe. It was just a vibe.
Who's some of the people you like? Who was some of the people you were sampling? What's some of the music you were sampling? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I had Brenda Russell. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. Go ahead, continue. You got a thumbs up.
I had the Fatback Band.
Oh, you was really digging.
Ultramagnetic was some of my influence for this album.
Right. Right.
It was just real, that to me at the time, real soul, real hip hop.
Right. What time was this? What era was this when you put out that first CD?
This is like 2000.
Wow, early 2000.
Yeah, early 2000. Yeah.
All right, now when you put this CD out, like, what was how was you going to get this out? What was your plan to get it out to the people? How did you do that? Because to me, this is one of the most interesting ways that you tackled this.
Well, there was no plan to put it out. It was just, I just wanted to make the music. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? I just wanted to make the music.
Right.
And see what happens. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know what? Actually, I'm be honest. No, pardon me. Excuse me. I just wanted to. I was thinking maybe I could shop it to a record label.
Right.
I was thinking like maybe I could shop it to a record label.
Who'd you shop it to?
I went over to a record label, major independent, or if I could say major independent record label.
Yeah, you can.
You know, and they begin with a K.
Kadar? Kadar?
Nah, not Kadar.
Right.
But let's just say Cameron and them was on that label too.
Oh, okay. Why you don't want to say their names?
Well, all right, fuck it. I said Koch. I went over to Koch.
Okay, right.
I went over to Koch Records on Broadway. They were situated on Broadway.
Right. What'd they say?
And, they heard it. They liked it.
Right.
But the guy, you know, at the meeting, he was like, I like the vibe, but can you give me like some kind of booty music?
He actually asked you that?
Like, yeah, he said, you know, I can hear this beat with like booty in it. You know what I mean?
Oh, he was tripping.
Like,
he trying to change the style up.
I was like, nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I mean, I had the grooves, but it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't no booty shit.
Right.
So he was like, you know, if you could give me some more booty,
right,
I think, you know, we could probably do something with you.
So did you do it?
Fuck no, I ain't do that shit.
Right.
I was like,
right.
I said, you know, from that moment, I said to myself,
right,
if I do my shit independently,
right,
I can do whatever the fuck I want to do on my album.
Right. So is that what you did? Yeah.
Yeah, I said, you know what? Fuck the labels.
Right.
I'm just going to do my music on my own. So that way I can, whatever vibe I want to do, that's the vibe I can keep doing.
Right.
And if people don't like it, fuck it.
Right.
You know
now,
what I mean?
Yeah, because now let me say why that's interesting, because this was in the year 2000, you thinking like this, right?
Yeah, this is like 2003 or something like
right.
that.
Now, people were doing independent stuff back then. Like, I know people know it's more independent now because we got the internet and it's easier. But the reason why your story is so important to me, again, I got to keep saying this, is because you took it upon yourself to push the CDs. Now, at this point, how did you get on the streets and start moving your CDs? How did that happen? What made you go, you know what, forget this?
Well, hold on for a second. Hold on.
All right, we're going to hold on. Now, for those of you just joining, you know what I'm saying, we're talking about rappers you don't know. And this is dedicated to me interviewing rappers, whether they're my friends or they're people that you just don't know. And we got on the phone because my man couldn't get on the Facebook because he doing something right now. He taking care of stuff. But this is Mera Sol. And Mera Sol is interesting because he sold his CDs on the street. And a lot of people did this on the streets. But he sold more than any rapper I knew because I watched him in action. You know what I'm saying? And this is Mera Sol. So he's going to come back when he's ready. But in the meantime, Mera, let me put you on hold for a second, okay? Because I want y'all to hear, this is a song not off of that Reincarnated Soul, but this is off an album that he actually, a record that he did that I thought was dope, just so y'all can get an understanding. So let me put you on hold, and we're going to let the people hear. So for the people that is watching, just hold on for a second, and I'm going to let you hear. and you give me some thumbs up and let me know you hearing and vibing, all right? So, B-Rock, give me a second. Give me a second, y'all. Let me pull this up real quick. I'm glad that y'all, whoever's watching is watching. Means a lot. Like I said, this is rappers you don't really know, and we're dropping some knowledge on rappers you don't know. So if you get to know them, then you'll all right, so here we go. Let's listen to this song. This is Mera on a track with a few other people, and I'm gonna point out Mera's joint. You know what I'm saying? And let's listen. Hold on, y'all. Oh, wait, hold on, y'all. We're gonna do this right. I want to connect this to the Bluetooth so y'all can hear it live and direct. You dig? You know, give me a second. Hold on. So those who's joining us, we are here, and this is rappers you don't know. Rappers you never heard before, right? And this is Mera Sol. Let's listen. If y'all can hear that, give me a thumbs up. Yeah. Yo, ain't that quiz right there? That's quiz, man. Yeah, that's cool. Hey, you, what's up? Yo, what's up, quiz? What's the game on the shoes? Ain't nothing winner. As the years went by, the fronts got flat and thinner. Some people think the pointier the cornier, but I say the pointier the better. As I stand in front of the mirror forever, so I can check out my leather. And when I pull up my collar like I'm a Casanova woman lover, I know it looks dapper like Marvin Gaye in a black coat on the front of a record cover. Cause I'm a priceless kid and an expensive kid. You just ain't used to bread. My Maury alligators don't go in the box. They stay on my feet even when I go to bed. And when I go to Italy, it'll be a custom shop. I'll make my spot. And the girls around me be like, he's so handsome cause his shoe game is so high. He rocks the spot. The girl even told me, she said, I love you, cat. I'll even ride his cow. When I step off the plane, they looking at my shoe game. Shoe game. When I get out the Bentley, they looking at my shoe game. Shoe game. When I come out the club, they keep in my shoe game. Shoe game. When I'm live on stage, they keep in my shoe game. Everybody in my crew got on a tight shoe. The fit in mine, yeah, I know you like to. These are brand new, round like beef stew. Look out, y'all, here, CMC coming through. I got a red pair like fresh tomatoes. I widows with a skios, skanks and hoes. Switch up my shoe game for every new dame. You fresh to death, I'm resurrected with a new name. Lazarus religious song, Bishop don't want without the pimp cup. They deliver them to my house right off the UPS truck. I got the white ones I only wear in the summer. I got the burgundy Jones, they go right with the Hummer. I got the butterscotch, I call them butter crimpets. If you step on my shoes, I might have to smack a bitch. I got the now leaders, I got them Jones with Snoop. I only wear them Jones when I'm riding in the coupe. When I step off the plane, they looking at my shoe game. Shoe game. When I get out the Bentley, they looking at my shoe game. Shoe game. When I come out the club, they peep in my shoe game. Shoe game. When I'm live on stage, they peep in my shoe game.
With this flow, I'm as live as a hive. I wrote a pornographer's guide on how to decide which hoes to slob in your knob. Now if she's biting, it's not a good job. Trust me, she bring a derogative vibe. Now the question you ask is how does it guide? She pose with exotic facades, it's the shoes that keep me riding the sides. Cause see, this is a crucial issue. Some sisters are superficial, and without the proper shoe tradition, it don't matter if your heart's in hot pursuit with Cupid's missile. Without the proper shoe tradition, to the ladies out there, to them it's a fruitless issue. Without the proper shoe tradition, it don't matter who's with you, and I don't care if she think you cute enough to kiss you. Without the proper shoe tradition, you can ask your papa too, and on cue he'll dismiss you. Without the proper shoe tradition, you can go and argue to the courts and make the issue judicial. Without the proper shoe tradition, damn judge, the bang his gavel, tell you he's about to dismiss you. Without the proper shoe tradition.
When I step off the plane, they looking at my shoe game. Shoe game. When I get out the Bentley, they looking at my shoe game.
All right, y'all. So that's one of Mera's songs that he had featuring two of his homies, you know what I'm saying? And it was called Shoot Game, and that was one of the joints. Now, this is MCs that y'all don't know interviewed, right? So that was Mera Sol, we had him on the phone. We're gonna bring him back on there, because I got him on the phone. I wanted him to come on the Facebook Live, but he couldn't. So I'm interviewing rappers you don't know, because this guy has an interesting story because of the way he moved his CDs. So more independent CDs, not through a record label, just through him moving on the streets of New York, hustling this joint. So we gonna get him back on the phone. I got him on the phone, you know what I mean? And his name is Mera Sol, you know what I mean? So we gonna get him back on, and I'm gonna ask him some more questions, because you gotta hear this. This is interesting, because this brother, hello? You know, this brother was able to, yo, what's up, brother?
I'm trying to get on the Facebook. How do I do this? I haven't been on here in a minute.
Okay, well, it's like you active. The people, I played Shoe Game for the people, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm playing songs that I got of you, because I don't have the Reincarnated Soul album. Reincarnated. I'm sorry. Y'all hear he gotta keep correcting me. Reincarnated Soul. Cause I bought that CD a long time ago. But before you try to get on Facebook, since I got you here, when you was out there selling you ain't gotta give up all your secrets, but when you was selling your CDs, how did you cover so many people and was able to sell so many CDs? You know, give us some insight. You don't have to give all your secrets up, but give us a little bit of insight of what a day like would be when you was hustling your CDs. And why were you set apart from the other cats?
Well, it's all about your approach, you know what I mean? It's about your approach, you know.
Right.
Some cats were real, you know, like, oh yeah, yo, buy my CD, yo.
Right.
You know, and my approach was never really like that. My approach was more like, you know, excuse me, how you doing today? You know what I mean? Like, you know, stuff like that, you know.
Right.
Where, you know, where I was rapping, I was MCing, but you know, I came to the people as a gentleman, you know, as a human being, respecting their time and what they may be doing throughout the day. You know, Everybody has shit to do. You know? So if I'm gonna give, if you're gonna give me your time, then I respect that. You know, I respect that, and I'm going to show you that I respect that by approaching you in a certain way. You know?
Right. Now, one thing I noticed, brother, your style in which you gear, how you was right. How important is that? And why was that important to you?
Well, I mean, like I said, I came to New York to do fashion design.
Right.
So, you know, I always had, even when I was, you know, teenager, kid growing up, I always had my own style.
Right.
You know, so with that being said, I just was being me. You know what I mean? It was just like, I was just being me because I always was different the way I dressed and everything like that.
How different? You say you're different in dress. What did you wear? What did you wear? Would that matter when you were selling CDs to people?
I want to say yeah. I mean, I actually want to say yeah. I want to say yeah. I mean, because I don't really, you know, to be honest, I don't know, like, if that mattered to the point of, like, them buying my CD, but what I will say is that my approach, you there?
Yeah, I'm listening. We listen.
My approach, both, like, mentally and visually, was different than all of the cats on the block. You know
how did they style look versus your style?
Well, they dressed in like baggy jeans and and you know, not wealthy, like t-shirts,
right,
and like jerseys,
right,
you know,
right.
things like that. Whereas when I came on the scene, I was wearing button-up shirts.
Right.
I was wearing fedora hats.
Oh man, you was throwing it on. Right.
I was wearing shoes.
Right.
I hardly ever wore sneakers.
Wow, really? What type of shoes what was your shoes that you were wearing?
I was wearing like, you know, like sort of like those pointy shoes.
Right, right.
I was on some Italian type shoe stuff, you know.
Wow, wow. Did you notice people while you was now? Did you notice people when you was giving them your CDs checking you out? Was that something you cared about or noticed?
Well, yeah, I did. You know, I did notice people saying to me, "Oh man, you know, I like them shoes, or
right.
I like that shirt, or I like that hat."
Right.
You know, and I like your approach. I mean, a lot of people used to always say, "I like your approach."
Wow,
you
wow.
know? And I never forget, like, just to throw it in there real quick for me hustling.
Right.
I never forget. I always would move around at different locations. I would move from borough to borough.
Wow.
You know, when one spot got a lot of, cause I guess people would see me, you know, they were selling their CDs for like $5. I
right.
came on the block and I was selling my CDs for $10.
You was that confident, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, so then they started selling their CDs for $10, you know.
Wow, you set trends.
And then it was more and more people coming on the block out of nowhere, like, you know. So once that location, I'm specifically speaking about West 8th Street, which was the Mecca for me when I first came to New York for selling CDs.
Right.
In the Village. So I would move all around, and then I'd go downtown Brooklyn.
Right.
You know, I would be in the mall in Brooklyn, you know, over there on Fulton Street.
Right.
You know.
Right.
The reason why I knew that I was doing something is because I took a trip to London.
Wow. I'm listening.
To sell my CDs. And I must have stacked about 500 CDs.
Oh, you was Master P'd up. You did a Master P move. Right.
I was going to go down there.
Right.
And when I got to London.
Right.
I went to Brixton because I said, yo, where the black people?
Oh, hardcore. You was hardcore. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah. So I went to Brixton. And when I got off the train in Brixton, I was like, Pat, I was selling my CDs, like just standing out there talking to people.
Right.
And this lady said to me, she said, I know you.
Wow. All we in. Go ahead.
You were the guy that was selling your CDs in Brooklyn.
Wow.
I said, what? I said, yeah. He said, yeah, I got your CD. That's when I said, yo, this shit is real. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I said, yo, that's when I knew I sold thousands of CDs.
Right.
You know what I mean? When I could get off an international flight.
Right.
And have someone approach me and say that they bought my stuff.
That's amazing. You know? That's amazing.
I was crazy. I was so ecstatic. It was crazy.
That's deep. What was the feedback from you? Because I'm pretty sure you were selling so many CDs. How did you get feedback? Because there wasn't nobody doing internet stuff back then, I don't think. Not all heavy like that. Nobody was getting on Instagram. Or I don't even think Instagram was there back then. I know it wasn't. Well, how did you get feedback when you was out there on the street? How do you know they heard it? How do you know? Did you know they heard it? How did you get feedback to know you had a good CD?
Well, here's the thing. I would say my first couple of 100 CDs.
Right.
I didn't get any feedback. But when I started selling more and more,
Right.
I started seeing people come up to me saying, yo, that CD was banging, yo.
Wow.
Like, and I'm like, in the street. So
Wow.
I'm just like, yo, I sold that many CDs, like, because this is New York City. It's a big city.
Yes.
So I'm saying to myself, if I got people coming, that I'm seeing people again,
Right.
okay, then that means that I must be selling a lot of CDs, because I'm starting to see people again that, you know, that are circling around. So it's like a cycle. It's like, yo.
Right.
So you have to sell a certain amount of CDs in order to see the same person.
See
again.
the same, right. So, and that's why your story is so important, because you sold so many CDs on that level. Now you're starting to get feedback, which is hard, because nowadays, if you do it, if you even sell tangible CDs or anything today, you can just go on Instagram and people hit you back and you can see the results. But back then it was kind of hard when you selling CDs and you don't have a scan, you're not scanning, you don't have nobody swiping cards or swiping. You're just, that's why I know your story is so important to people, and why I knew it was big, because you started getting feedback in New York. Yes, of course you had to sell a lot of CDs. Go ahead, I'm listening.
In the streets, yeah, I started getting feedback in the streets, you know, and people, not only that, this crazy thing, people will be riding down the street playing my CD and, you know, and beat the horn at me. Burp, burp, yo, that joint is banging.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, people really riding down the streets listening to my shit.
Wow.
So that shit had me, I was like, yo, because, you know, there was a time, you know, not lately, I'm not seeing this, but there was a time when if your music passed the car test, you know, then when a new album came out, you heard it in the streets. You heard every car banging it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly, of course.
Like, yo, that's that new Nas, or that's that new whatever.
Right.
Because everybody was banging it.
Right.
People started to actually bang the CDs that I was selling in their cars.
And you're selling this on the streets. Let's remember, people, whoever's watching, I got Del Rey, I got I think it's Demone Long. Is that how you pronounce that? I got Chris. I got Muhammad. They listening. I got a few people hit the thumbs up. Remember, this is an MC y'all don't know by the name of Mera Sol, selling his CDs on the street. Do you know how hard that is in New York to get feedback? That means you're selling tons of CDs to people, and now he's beginning to get feedback off of the CD, and the story gets better. He's pushing these CDs and he's hustling it. It's in 2000, no internet, none of that, but he's getting people banging his CDs on, in the cars driving. So he's not only just in one area, cause a lot of these cats back then were in one area. They just was in the Soho area. But this brother went from Brooklyn to the Soho area to Long Island, I'm pretty sure, to, Lower Manhattan, Harlem, Bronx, all over. You tried everywhere and you was succeeding every single day. Now,
let me say, hold on.
Go ahead, run it down.
Let me say something about Long Island.
Oh, go ahead, I'm listening.
When I went out to Long Island, do you know I sold my CD, a lot of CDs out in Long Island too.
Wow.
There was a car that pulled up. It was a whole family.
Right.
It was like, oh, Mera, we love your music. Everybody in the car knows the song. They have their favorite song. I was like, what?
Wow. That's incredible.
I was like, are you, you know, I must say this. I don't take, you know, I'm getting better now, but I don't take compliments. I didn't take compliments as well. So when people started to come up to me and like, hey, you know what I mean? I'm kind of like, you know, I'm very like, you know, not standoffish, but I'm glad. But at the same time, I'm like, wow, this is really like, you know, this is really real, and like, okay, all right, cool, all right, cool. But I never got big headed over it.
Right.
You know what
What's your sign? What's your sign?
I'm a Cancer. You know
That's probably why. Cancers, they never can take, they're very humble and they can't take compliments very well, but you're appreciative. That's probably why. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Nah,
Yeah.
I was very appreciative of it,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then this sister came up to me. I never forget it. This sister came up to me. I think this is when I did the All was no. This was I think this is the All in Me album.
Right.
Was it the All in Me album? I think it was the All in Me album. I did that album,
Right.
and she came up to me in Long Island, and she was like, "Mera, I love your music. Your music got me through my cousin passing away." And she started crying.
Wow.
She started crying, and she was just like, "Can I get another one? Can I get another one, please?"
Wow.
I was like, "Yeah, sure, sister." You know what I mean? So, I mean, my music for me, and you know, that's one thing that I loved about being in the streets and selling my music, is because you got to feel these people coming back to you,
right,
in the streets, giving their story of what your music means to them.
Right. That's deep.
So it's not like I put it on a radio station and everybody's playing it, or I put it on a streaming service and everybody's there. But I actually got to see, touch, feel the people.
You've seen the people reaction, right.
That in real time, that were buying it. I would see them the next day, and they would let me know how they felt about it.
Wow.
And I'm not big-headed or nothing like that, but I would say out of 100%, 95% of the people were really pleased with the album. That's a major
thing. Which I'm glad to see. I'm glad you brought that point up, because this is, to me, and I know this brother, they felt this album to this point, because this is what it took you to next. First of all, let me before I get into that, what was the most money you made in a day? I'm gonna ask you a 2-part question. What's the most money you made in a day off your CDs? What was the highest? And what was the most you made off your CDs? If you don't mind me asking.
In a day, I would say about $500 to $600.
And how did you set your day up? What time did you go out? What time? What was without giving too much? What was your daily routine on a day? Like, did you treat it like a job?
I treated it like a job. I got up early in the morning.
Okay.
I left out the house about 9 o'clock.
Okay.
And I would grind till like 5 or 6 o'clock.
Wow.
And that would.
So you saying, so is that your average, or is that what you just made? The most you made was 600, or, you know?
That's the most I made in a day.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I would say about 600.
And you would, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would say about that in one day. Yeah, in one day, about 600, yeah. Right.
And now you're doing this every day?
I'm doing this, I would say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No, I'm actually doing this. I'm doing this like, okay, we had our slow days.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So our slow days, because I had a partner that would, like, you know, go out with me.
Right.
Kind of like, you know, tell people about the CD.
Okay.
Also.
Oh, so you had a little strategy plan as far as willing people in and getting them to.
Yeah, you know, just like guiding them to, you know, yo, did you hear about it? You know, this and that. Right. But for the most part, I was doing it all on my own.
Of course.
But, you know, this is later on. But we had our slow days. Our slow days were like a Monday and a Tuesday.
Right.
So I would go out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Dang near every day almost. Like, yeah. I mean, that's major. Now this is the thing. People that's listening, like I said, this is rappers and MCs you don't know being interviewed. But the reason I'm picking, because I think they have interesting stories. Mera Sol, which is on the phone. We wanted him on Facebook, but he's taking care of some things, couldn't get on right away, so we just got him on the phone. But the reason I'm having these interviews, I'm into hip hop first of all, but the reason I want Mera Sol on the phone, particularly because The brother sold thousands and thousands of CDs, hundreds of thousands of CDs on the streets of New York. And Philly as well. He's original Philly artist. But this is the rewards for him doing that. Go ahead, I'm listening.
All over, like
all over.
I mean,
all
everywhere
over.
I went.
Where else? Talk to us.
I mean, because remember, I got into that play, and then,
well, that's where I'm getting at. How did that play? And this is not. Listen, y'all heard what he said. He got in a play. Now wait a minute. Let's back up. This is not a play that, this person is trying to do their first play and they're trying to come up with a play and they want Mera in this. No. The producer, director and writer of this play, does major plays. This was a major, I want to say off Broadway, but on Broadway. Would I be correct to say like that?
Yeah, that could be about right.
Right, because the reason I say off-Broadway is big, but this guy had off-Broadway, but it was an off-Broadway black play. Now, y'all know how big those are. I know y'all think it's only Tyler Perry, but this brother was like Tyler Perry, but he was doing more thought-provoking plays. Some of y'all might know him. His name is David Lamb. Now, Mera was in this play. Mera, talk to us and tell us, how did this come about, brother? How did you, and let them know what play this was. What play it was, and how did it come about? All this. Go ahead.
Well, the name of the play was Platanos and Collard Greens.
Right.
And like I said, name of the play was Platanos and Collard Greens. And like I said, when I was on 8th Street.
Right.
Which was one of my major spots to, sell my CDs.
Right.
I was approached by a brother that was working for the play.
Right.
And he told me.
Right.
He asked me, actually, he said, "Can you act?" And I was like, "Sure."
Right.
And he gave me a card.
Right.
With an invitation, which actually was tickets. He gave me 2 tickets.
Right.
To the play, which at the time was playing at Hunter College.
Okay.
And then I attended the play.
Right.
Later on that evening.
Right.
After wrestling. And David Lamb said, "Study this character."
Wow.
I studied the character, and when I studied that character, I was like, yo, I don't know if I can do all of that. That's a lot of words. That's
right.
a lot of
right.
I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
Like, that's a lot of lines.
Right.
But then I said, you know what, Mera, don't worry about it, because you're an MC anyway. So guess what? You remember your rhymes. You could just remember these lines, just like you remember the rhymes.
Right.
So I took the script home, studied it went into rehearsal for about 2 months.
Right.
Then after that, I was out on the road, going to different shows all across the United States.
So you mean to tell me, y'all hear that? Do you understand how deep this is? This brother was selling hundreds of thousands of CDs on the street and outdoing a lot of his peers at the time on the streets in New York, all over the boroughs. Y'all know how big just one borough in New York is. Just Brooklyn alone, right? And then he goes and he's hustling these CDs. He's getting people to actually respond to his CDs in a way that they love these CDs, playing it in cars. Remember, he's not signed to a label. He's not getting the airplay. He's selling the CDs, not in the back of his trunk, literally in his, I guess, bags, right, Mera? In your bag.
In a backpack.
A backpack. He's a real true backpacker. At the time when major underground artists were out at the time, and they were on underground labels, and he probably selling just as many CDs as them. Mos Def, I'm pretty sure, was popping at that time. Kweli was in Brooklyn, and they were popping at that time. Shabam Sadiq and all those type of guys were popping at that time. Of course, Kool Keith. These guys were major, but Mera's selling major CDs himself in them same genres, and those were his peers at that time. Believe it when I tell you, along with other underground people. Believe it when I tell you that. And now he's selling so many CDs, he gets approached by a major producer of a play, not major producer as a musician, but as a playwright. This guy is major. David Lamb is a major dude, and he produced Platinos and Collard Greens. And now he's asking an underground MC he wants to be in his play. Now, Mera.
Hold on. Before, hold that thought.
I'm listening.
Because you made me think about something.
I'm listening.
When you said major producers,
mm-hmm.
I never forget, I was walking down Broadway selling my CDs.
Right.
This had to be Reincarnated Street Soul. Yeah, it was Reincarnated Street Soul. And I'm walking down the street, and I'm pitching myself to this, this tall cat. Right. And I'm like, yo, check out my CD. You know what I mean? I didn't say it like that, but I'm just like, this is my CD. I do jazz and hip hop. I even got a guy on there by the name of Stanley. I even have some music on here by Stanley Clark.
Right.
So then this guy looks up to me and says, I am Stanley Clark.
No way. Stop, bro. Really?
So I was just like,
I know you was like, what?
I was like, yo, I love your music, man. Yo, I sampled you. He's like, yo, don't worry about it.
Right.
I own the rights to all my music, so you can use it. He said, yeah, don't worry about it. I'll get in touch with my publisher. And he actually autographed the inside of the CD or something. I don't
wow,
know.
Bro. That's major. I mean? That's serious. But I'm saying it's stuff like this that people need to know, because we only think history is just in what a major publishing house does or a major record label. We only think history is backed by those things. We don't think about the history that's going on. We know the Kanyes of the world. We know the Mos Defs. We know the Roots. We know the major people. We know the Nas's. But we don't hear about people like yourself, Mera Sol, and we don't know that it's history like that that's going on. So you meet this major producer, somebody you sampled, you got a chance to meet him, and I want to get back to the play. Not only are you in this play, but what type of role did you get in this play?
I got a very comedic role. Mm-hmm. My name was OK.
Right.
Which is crazy because now my son name is Omar Kelsey, so he's okay.
He actually okay, right?
Yeah,
right.
So, so I was playing this comedic character named OK,
right?
And I was like trying to chase after this Latina girl,
right?
And I was inspiring rapper,
in the play.
Yeah, so pretty much, I guess when the brother seen me in the streets selling my CDs and pitching, he actually saw, that was like I would say that was my audition, because I was actually being who I was going to later on be, but just in a more comedic way in the play. So I'm, here I am in the streets, aspiring rapper. So I'm in the play, aspiring rapper, but I'm like this really funny guy in the play. Right. You know what I mean?
So you was basically did a LL Cool J and Crush Groovin type thing, but you was actually in the play longer and had more lines.
Yeah, if you want to say that.
Right, right. Because you had a major role in the play. Like, it wasn't like this was small. How did that, what was that transition like between being an MC and now becoming an actor on Broadway? Because not an actor on TV. To me, acting on Broadway is a lot more serious because you're constantly in front of that audience. You got to do this every single day. It's not a taping. You got to really go in and go live. What was that transition like, and what's the difference between that and being an MC?
Well, I mean, basically, every show is a different show. You get in the booth, you spit your rhymes, you record it, it's done.
Right.
That same CD will get sold, and it'll be the same song
Right.
to everybody.
Right.
When you do a play, every show is a different show.
Right.
So when you get up there, you don't know what's going to happen. You know, you may forget a line, but you got to keep it going.
Right.
You gotta. We don't call ad lib. We call it improv.
Improv.
You know.
Right.
You may have to improv. You may have to, put a line in there that don't go in there.
Right.
But the audience doesn't know it, and the audience is laughing. They're giving your feedback right then and there.
Right then and there.
Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Wow, that's different.
So when you rap, on a CD, you sell it, you get your input. Maybe a couple days later, after somebody listened to it, I was getting my feedback right then and there, and I was hearing the cheers and the laughters and everything right then and there.
Right. And what was the crowd like in those plays?
Oh man, on a Saturday night they was lit because half of them probably was out drinking, so they were just lit. The matinee shows were lit. I mean, because you had people, the churchgoers, they just they loved the comedic things, and I must say that we had a lot of David gave us a lot of leadway into making up our own jokes,
Right. Wow. So, really? Right.
So we would, So so whatever was going on at the time,
right,
we would like put our own, acts if we could use our own lines for whatever was going on at the time. So we kind of like kept up with the times.
Wow.
So if there was a current event and he thought it wasn't too risque to speak about, we could say it.
You added that into your play. Now, let's let the people. We had somebody just join us. Phyllis, she just joined, and this is MCs that you don't know. The MCs you don't know and being interviewed. This is Mera Sol, and he sold hundreds and hundreds of thousands of CDs on the streets of New York. We all know how hard that is back in the early 2000s. And now this led him to having a major role on the Boulevard. What's up, y'all, man? What's going on? That's another brother I need to interview. He began to get he got noticed and recognized to do a major play, which is called Platinos and Collard Greens. I don't know how many people know about that play, but that was a major play in New York, and it'll probably come back after the COVID thing is over, probably. But he was in a major play, and he had sold out crowds every night, and okay, y'all, man, that's what's up. Sold out crowds every night. Do you understand how deep this is from an MC that decided to take his underground hip hop MC abilities in his own hands, and then he landed a role as an actor on a Broadway play? Do you understand how hard it is to get people be doing auditions to try to get in these Broadway plays? And he landed a major role in a major play, Platinos and Collard Greens, produced and written by David Lamb. That's major. This is Mera Sol on the phone. Now, what I want to ask you is, how did you stop selling your CDs while you was doing these plays?
No. So I sold more CDs.
Whoa, hold up. More?
Yeah.
I'm listening. I'm sorry, I'm listening. How did that happen?
Because after every show, I would get off the stage, I would run backstage, I would grab a whole sack of CDs, and I would go out to the audience, and I would sign autographs and sell CDs after the show.
Wow. Now, what was that like? Now, how, go ahead, I'm listening. What was that like? What was they saying to you when you were selling the CDs? Would you do it before the show, after the show, in between the missions? Like, what was that? What would you do?
I would do it after our show. After the crowd seen our show, right. I would, like I said, run back to the dressing room.
Or said that.
I probably have a bag of CDs backstage, right. And I would bring them out, people would want us to sign autographs. So I signed my autographs, and then I would actually just sell the CD to the people. I would tell them, this is my music. And then they would like, yeah, let me get one. And then I would sign the CD, and then they would just go about their business.
Wow. So they was filling you as far as being an actor now, and also you got a chance to move your CDs and stuff of that nature. Now let me ask you this. You, of course, while you're trying to do this, you're still trying to interact with other people. Did you ever meet anyone else? I mean, David Lamb is actually a huge major playwright. So that's big in itself. Did you come across anybody musically in the music business? And what was that experience like? I mean, you said you came across the guy, the guy you sampled. You came across, what was his name again?
His name was Stanley Clark.
Stanley Clark. That's major. And you dealt with Koch Records, that Cameron and all these other cats. I think Jizza was on there. A lot of people was on Koch Records. Any other situations you ever came across that you thought was interesting as well?
Like not coming off. Not musically, because again, I was touring. So I was touring with the play for like 7 years.
Wow, it lasted that long?
Yeah, so I was touring for 7 years.
Right.
So me touring all around, at the time, I was just mainly focused on acting and putting my music out there.
Wow.
So
incredible. So
I just toured, and I just sold my CDs while I was on tour. I sold my CDs while I wasn't on tour.
Right.
So it was just, for me, it wasn't trying to get a situation with a label or with anybody.
Right.
It was more so, like I said, when I had that experience at Koch, I said, I'm going to do my music the way I want to do it, and I'm going to sell it to the people, and I'm going to see if they appreciate it, because this is for the people. At the end of the day, I don't care about the radio play. I don't care about the record labels. I wasn't caring about nobody but the people.
Wow.
So if I could get it to the people, then that's all that mattered.
Right.
So me acting for the people, doing what I did for the people, and then after that, selling them my music, because they're there. They like my performance as an actor. So, hey, check out my music. Do you like that?
Right.
And then it would be shows when people would come and bring somebody to the next show, and they'd be like, yo, I got your CD. I love your CD.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
So then, like, not only would I go places and people be like, yo, that's the boy from Platinos and Collard Greens, they would also be like, yo, I got your CD from Platinos. Yeah, that's the boy Mera, So it came to the point where it was just so many different people. I could not keep up with the people, and I was just like, yo, thanks, and I just felt so much gratitude for the appreciation of the people.
Right. So see what I'm talking about, folks, the people that is joining me. You see how important this history is, because just because he wasn't signed to a major label doesn't mean he didn't sell major. He made enough money to eat. That, because this is what we're doing. We want to do what we love and we want to eat. He made enough money to eat, and then it
I made enough money to pay my bills. I made enough money to take kids. I made enough money to clothes. I made enough money to live.
Wow. Wow.
After Reincarnated Street Soul, when I started seeing it selling what it was selling, I was actually working right on Wall Street. I was on Wall Street and I was working corporate, and I started seeing the money I was making from selling my CDs. I quit that job. I was like, I don't need this job no more. Like,
ain't that
I'm
something?
making money selling my own music.
Right. Now, again, I gotta reiterate on why we're here and why do I have Mera Sol on the phone. He's an underground artist that sold his CDs on the streets of New York, as well as in Baltimore, Philly, Jersey, wherever he went. And then it landed him, he sold the CDs enough to make money, his own money, to fit his living, everyday living, rent, food, taking care of his kids. And he did this off of selling his underground hip-hop CDs on the streets of New York. And he sold hundreds and hundreds of thousands without having a major label. That is incredible. And I'm not talking about a label and then he helped them hustle. You know, Kanye had a major label and then he had to hustle. Mos Def had a major label and then they had to hustle. No, he didn't have no backup major label or underground label. No, he had him as the backup. And then somebody major came along that had nothing to do with a label, which was a playwright by the name of David Lamb. And he got into later that hustle that he had to move his CD turned into him being an actor on a play called Platinos and Collard Greens. That is a success story beyond success in hip-hop. That is an incredible historical hip-hop joint. Remember his name, Mera Sol. He's working on some new stuff now. What are you doing now, Mera? What do you want people to know about what you're doing right now? Cause we're gonna go into a song too before we get out of here.
Well, right now I'm working on my organization, Yama, my company, Yama Youth Art Mentor Academy.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically teaching the youth how to rap, not really how to rap, but how to put together songs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
How to produce beats.
Right.
And how to DJ.
Wow. So you teaching hip hop.
So basically all of the elements that I've done for years since I was a kid.
Right.
I want to inspire as well as give a form of mentoring, you know,
right.
to the youth, and you know, let them shine, and let them not only keep them off the streets, but give them something to do while they're off the street. You know what I mean?
Right.
That they love, that they could love to do, that they could you know, put together. I mean, because when I was young, I was out there and I was doing the wrong thing, selling drugs and everything when I was a teenage,
right.
You know, my early teens, you know,
right.
And I'll never forget, I got knocked and I went to an old boys school, De La Salle.
What? So, I'm listening.
Yeah, and then, the judge had sent me there instead of putting me in jail.
Right.
In a youth study center. Instead of putting me in a youth study center, he sent me to De La Salle.
Right.
So
De La Salle. Right. Go. I'm listening.
And we would have talent shows there.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
And I got into one of those talent shows, and that's when I started to take, you know, music serious. When I got to that talent show and I started rapping,
right.
And you know, then people was like, yo, man, yo, you nice, you know what I mean?
Right.
I said, you know what, I'm never going back to the streets. I'm going to do this music, you know, and this music saved my life. You see what I'm saying?
Wow, of course.
I could have went back to selling drugs. I could have got locked up like most of my fam. You know what I mean? Like I could have, you know, took that route. So Yama is something that I, you know, want to present to the youth to
right.
give them an out from
okay.
this situation that we call life that's hell at times. You know
right,
what I mean?
Right. No. And see that, and see, this once again, this is major in hip hop because, it's stories like this. We just think that it's only the major people that you see all the time doing major things. And this brother, like I said, for those who just joining us, is named Mera Sol. You can look him up on Facebook. But he sold his CDs on the streets of New York and beyond in other places, enough to feed his family, enough to pay rent, enough to live life. And then later landing a major role on a major off-Broadway play. I say on Broadway too, because it was major, Platinos and Collard Greens. And he was able to sustain this lifestyle. Went and got a job in New York in the stock market. Left that because he realized he was making just as much money as working a regular 9 to 5. That is major. That is historical. That's major hip hop information that y'all need to know. Mera Sol, y'all. Mera, where can they find you on Facebook or Instagram?
Instagram, The Real Mera Sol on Instagram.
All right, say it one more time.
The Real Mera Sol on Instagram.
And how you spelling that? Tell me, and I'll just type it in here. Is it T-H-E?
T-E.
T what?
THEREALMERASOL. The Real Mera Sol.
And that's on Instagram.
Yeah.
All right. 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 Well, there y'all have it, y'all. Like I said, this was Mera Sol. I left his joint on the Instagram. So go and support underground artists. This is an underground hip hop artist that's an actor, fashion, I would say icon, because your style and your fashion is incredible, because the people that you sold your CDs to, they saw your style. And you sold it to hundreds of thousands of people. And a lot of underground people don't even sell hundreds of thousands of records. Some of them sell 50,000 and a record label ready to kick them off. So you sold it on your own, then landing you Platinos and Collard Greens, which is a major play on Broadway in New York. You know what I'm saying? This my brother just tapped in. But I wish I could interview him. I don't think he gonna want me to, but we're going to interview him too, and Mayor. We're going to have a 42nd Street interview. But this is MCs you don't know, rappers you don't know, that did major things, and they have interesting stories too. And I was just talking to The Real Mera Sol on Instagram, and y'all just heard his story and how he became an underground MC, and a successful underground MC that sold tons and tons, thousands and thousands of CDs. I always say he went platinum in the streets. It's a very hard thing to do, and he was able to do that. My man Ravana, he just tapped in. What's up, brother? You know what I'm saying? This is Mera Sol. So Mera Sol, tell the people what you want them to know, the last words, and then I'm gonna play this song. After you get off, I'm gonna play this last song by you, and let the people know what you want them to know.
Yeah, well, you can, definitely check out me on Instagram. You know what I mean? I put up my art on Instagram.
Okay. And y'all can see that in the tags. It say The Real Mera Sol, and that's his Instagram tag. Go ahead, I'm listening.
I also have a new project I'm working on, and I'm about to shoot a video in a couple weeks. So I have a new album coming.
Right.
It's I'm working on something new.
Word.
So I'm sure the people gonna like it. It's just, like I said, it takes me time. Well, it takes me time to do an album.
Right, which it should. Right.
If I'm not inspired, I just can't do it.
Right.
I mean, I just, I hate to say can't, but I just can't do it.
Right.
I mean, I think every one of my albums were like 3 years, maybe sometimes 4 years apart.
Right. Right.
But I always give the people, the real me.
Right. And that's real. Yeah. That's real. All right, y'all. So stick with me. I'm about to play one of his joints. We're gonna say peace to Mera, you know what I mean? We got him on the phone, but I'm gonna play this last jam. Y'all gonna get to hear it. And remember, tune in for the next joint. Stay with us. Don't tune in. Hold on. Mera, I'm gonna say peace to you, brother. Thanks for the interview. I appreciate it. All right, bro. And we're gonna post this on our joint. Peace.
All right, peace.
All right. So, y'all, that was Mera, a very important MC in the game. In New York, he sold all those CDs, hundreds of thousands of CDs on the street. I'm about to play this one song by Mera, you know what I mean? And this is, let me see what song this is. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. And we going to get on out of here after this. But I want y'all to hear the song. Don't go nowhere. Chill out, you know what I mean? And we're gonna play this. Let me see, what is it? It's called Feeling right? I'm actually on this track, but this is real. It's the only song I had by Mera. And we're going to play this right here, all right? So let's check it out. Can y'all hear that? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear it.
Yo, hip to the hip, the hop, you don't stop. We might go up, but we won't go pop. My philosophy is strictly business. Looking at my Gucci to see what time it is. Uh-oh, I gotta go now. I'm 100 miles and running. Scotland Rock had them more, but he ain't touch my women. Cause they love the Jim Brownski when it's at full force. You cats is lost, you need to find the main source. I was married to radio, but we got a divorce. Cause she said I was nothing but a rebel without a pause. But I'm a midnight marauder cause I be up late. I'm top billing because my money is straight. You cats hesitate, meanwhile I'm passing you by. Keep an eye on your girl because I'm the type of guy to take her to the cafe and we can have a cappuccino. It's a big daddy thing, let me play with you, yo.
Crime scene, yellow tape, chalk and all. 9 mil, black hood, yo, dark and all. Yeah, I think he had a dead son, him in the ball. They came at the ball. 2 cats right there, DVD back and forth. Yeah, we pulled out them tools, son, blood was poured. Yo, please, not a dog altercation. Black elimination, no gratification. People in hip hop, they don't wanna see peace. All they want is complication. Why do rappers wanna go to the pen? Yo, I hate incarceration. Is that your fascination? Tagging up toes, getting that dough. Psychopian flow, brains in the know. Exercise your medulla like Slick Rick the ruler. If your friends don't like you, then they must repent. If they not feeling you, then they must be dense. Can y'all hear that?
In your cribs, manufacturing fibs. I caught you and your man's acting in wigs. The frontin's gotta stop. I'm the man to plot the plan to keep the planet hot in the fan. Knocking Africa bands, planet rock. I want that feeling back. You feeling that? Cause these rap villains is killing rap. We reenact gorillas when we feel attack. It's hard to chill, the crib still a shack. You feeling ribs and ceilings crack. Fuck a war, my hood still a rack. Plus my boy Mill is back. He's the realest Mac. And when my black ass see him, we gon' still attract. But chill back to the bars I left. Hip-hop's cause of death with some over-commercialized frauds and theft. How many jaws is left to speak the truth before evil forces leak your roof? We gotta get that feeling back. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling in my toes, my arms, my legs. I'm just trying to get it back, man. You know, I remember the days when we was just house partying it up. Now you can't do it because niggas are shooting everything up. You know what I'm saying? Bang, bang,
How many motherfuckers gonna be called young this, young that?
That's exactly my point, baby. It's all real, it's all real. CMC, baby. All the way, all the way. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all. So that's one of Mera's cuts along with featured acts. I was on there myself and my man Quiz, aka Chris Coleman, you know what I'm saying? He was out there doing it. But that's Mera. We did that back then when he was pushing the CDs in the New York studios, you know what I'm saying? So that's Mera Sol. He was an underground, he is. He's an underground MC pushing his CDs, and he was one of the MCs that were out there selling his CDs on the street, actually making tons of money, selling hundreds of thousands of CDs on the street. I know this because I witnessed it myself. I was with him. I did the same thing, and I was able to eat and really do. That's his production. Mera just said it. He produced it. That's right. I'm bugging. That was his production. We're gonna play one more tune for y'all. Mera, you're gonna remember this. Give me a second, brother. And we're gonna get into another tune. We gotta play this because we gotta do our own history, y'all. It ain't just about the major cats in the history. It's the underground guys that y'all don't know. This joint was called MCs, Rappers You Don't Know Interviewed. All right. So this is one cut that Mera produced as well. Right, Mera? You did Shoe Game. Am I correct? Give me a yes for that if you did it. I'm pretty sure you created this cut. And we're gonna play this cut. Hold on, give me a second. We're gonna bring it up. Give me a second, y'all. Hold up. We're gonna get it. But these are cuts that Mera produced. So you gotta listen to this.
What's up, Quiz? What's the game on the shoes? Ain't nothing winner. As the years went by, the fronts got flat and thinner. Some people think the pointier the cornier, but I say the pointier the better. As I stand in front of the mirror forever, so I can check out my leather. And when I pull up my collar, like I'm a Casanova woman lover. I know it looks dapper like Marvin Gaye in a black coat on the front of a record cover. Cause I'm a priceless kid and an expensive kid. You just ain't used to bread. My Maury alligators don't go in the box. They stay on my feet when I go to bed. And when I go to Italy, it'll be a custom shop. I'll make my spot. And the girls around me be like, he's so handsome cause his shoe game is so high. He rocks the spot. The girl even told me, she said, I love that cat. I'll even ride his cop. When I step off the plane, they looking at my shoe game. Shoe game. When I get out the Bentley, they looking at my shoe game. Shoe game. When I come out the club, they keep at my shoe game. Shoe game. When I'm live on stage, they keep at my shoe game. Everybody in my crew got on a tight shoe. To fit in mine, yeah, I know you like to. These are brand new, round like beef stew. Look out, y'all, here, CMC coming through. I got a red pair like fresh tomatoes. I wear those for the skios, skanks and hoes. Switch up my shoe game for every new dame. You fresh to death, I'm resurrected with a new name. Lazarus religious song, Bishop don't want without the pimp cup. They deliver them to my house right off the UPS truck. I got the white ones I only wear in the summer. I got the burgundy Jones, they go right with the Hummer. I got the butterscotch, I call them butter crimpets. If you step on my shoes, I might have to smack a bitch. I got the now ladies, I got them Jones with Snoop. I only wear them Jones when I'm riding in the coupe. When I step off the plane, they looking at my shoe game. Shoe game. When I get out the Bentley, they looking at my shoe game. Shoe game. When I come out the club, they keep at my shoe game. Shoe game. When I'm live on stage, they keep at my shoe game.
With this flow, I'm as live as a hive. I wrote a pornographer's guide on how to decide which hoes to slob in your knob. Now if she's biting, it's not a good job. Trust me, T bring a derogative vibe. Now the question you ask is how does he guide? He pros with exotic facades, it's the shoes that keep me riding the sides. But see, this is a crucial issue. Some sisters are superficial, and without the proper shoe tradition. It don't matter if your heart's in hot pursuit with Cupid's missile. Without the proper shoe tradition. To the ladies out there, to them it's a fruitless issue. Without the proper shoe tradition. It don't matter who's with you, and I don't care if you think you're cute enough to kiss you. Without the proper shoe tradition. You can ask your papa too, and on cue he'll dismiss you. Without the proper shoe tradition. You can go and argue to the courts and make the issue judicial. Without the proper shoe tradition. Oh yes, sir. Damn judge will bang his gavel, tell you he's about to dismiss you. Without the proper shoe tradition.
When I step off the plane, they looking at my shoe game. Shoe game. When I get out the Bentley, they looking at my shoe game. Shoe game. When I come out the club, they keep at my shoe game. Shoe game. When I'm live on stage, they keep at my shoe game.
Yeah, y'all, that was Shoe Game, you know what I mean? My man Ray in full effect. Mera produced that joint, you know what I mean? That's his production. You got a chance to hear it. Yeah, that joint was dope. Mera's on here now just responding. He said dope shit, you know what I mean? Laughing out loud because when our homie Chris did that joint, we was dying. You know what I mean? He did a good job on coming up with a creative ending, rhyme style, a call and response. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're gonna bring them days back. That's why we had to do this interview right here. So this is MCs, rappers y'all don't know. James, Snooty Banks, Yamir, 42nd Street Natives, West Philly, because they got interesting stories too. They're artists and MCs as well, rappers too. So we got to keep telling our own stories. I thank everybody that joined in and showed love. You know what I'm saying? My homie Ray joined in. Boom, I appreciate you. And that was Mera Sol, y'all. You see him on the feed right now. And you can go to The Real Mera Sol on Instagram, and you can follow him because he got more CDs and he's gonna be out there pushing those too. Because I think you can still sell CDs in a time where we're oversaturated with streams. And it's not about the CDs, y'all. When you buy a CD from somebody, it's about getting their music. Forget the idea that is on the CD. We know that's old and we know. But yo, we tapping out. I'm out of here. I will talk to y'all. Peace. Thanks for watching. We're gonna have more. So stay tuned. Peace, Ray. I'ma holler at you.